Dust motes dance in the sunbeam, thick and slow, across the worn-out linoleum where our bare feet used to go. That old kitchen table, scarred from 1,000 meals, holds just a coffee cup now, and all that silence feels. Oh, the fading pictures in my mind of a love I thought the good Lord had designed. Every smile, every tear, every whispered word, a melody forgotten, a song unheard, just fading pictures in a heart that still yearns for the lessons that a love like ours only learns. Remember that old Ford pickup, rust on the driver's side? We'd drive for hours, nowhere bound, with nothing left to hide. Your hand on my knee, the radio soft and low, talking about forever, like young folks always do. You know, we planned out our whole future under that big oak tree. Never once did we imagine what forever wouldn't be. Oh, the fading pictures in my mind of a love I thought the good Lord had designed. Every smile, every tear, every whispered word, a melody forgotten, a song unheard, just fading pictures in a heart that still yearns for the lessons that a love like ours only learns. The porch swing still creaks on evenings warm and long, just like it did when we'd sit there humming some old love song. I see your shadow in the twilight, a ghost against the screen, reaching out for something that just can't be unseen. The way you laugh at my bad jokes, the crinkle by your eyes, now just a memory playing beneath these lonely skies. Time, they say, heals all wounds, makes the sharp edges blur, but some scars run so deep they just can't help but stir. When a scent, a sound, a feeling brings it all rushing back, like a freight train in the darkness on an empty, lonesome track. I try to hold on to the good times, the joy, the gentle grace, but the pain keeps on reminding of an empty, hallowed place. Dust motes dance in the window light across the worn-out kitchen floor. Another Tuesday, another quiet night, just like 1,000 nights before.
Fading photographs, memories turn to gray.
trace the lines around your smile in that picture from '83.
Fading photographs, memories turn to gray, like the old screen door slowly falling away. The love song played too soft, a whisper in the breeze, just fading photographs, and bittersweet unease. Garden plot overgrown with weeds, where your mama's roses used to bloom.
Now just a tangle of forgotten seeds,
Lost in the encroaching gloom.
Met you in a bar off Highway 9, neon on your face, but your eyes were kind. You laughed at my boots, said this ain't some rules. I said yeah, but tonight they're yours to hold. 2 cheap beers and a George Strait song. You were humming off key, so I sang along. We were both a little lonely, a little too true. Didn't know I was meeting the end of my blues. Now I'm halfway home to you. Every mile marker feels like something new. Got your picture on my dash, heart beating like it might just crash. You're my map, my sign, my view. Every road I take runs straight to you. I was lost, I was passing through. Now I'm halfway home to you. I don't trust words, boys talk too sweet. I said give me some time and a front porch seat. So we sat there late, watching fireflies drift. You let down your guard like a slow sunrise shift. You told me about scars that you never showed. Your dad in his bottle, how you had to grow too fast, too soon. In a small town storm, I held your hand, promised to keep you warm. Now I'm halfway home to you. Every mile marker feels like something new. Got your picture on my dash, heart beating like it might just crash. You're my map, my sign, my view. Every road I take runs straight to you. I was lost, I was passing through. Now I'm halfway home to you. All burst, we were broke as the jokes on my faded work shirt. You were dancing in socks on that flooded floor. Said if this is love, I don't need much more. Wrapped up in quilts that your mama stitched. He turned off, but the moonlight switched on every dream we were scared to chase. You drew a little house, scribbled our last name, and you asked me quiet, do you see this too? I laughed through the shiver, said I only see you. We didn't have much, but we had that night. Fingers laced tighter than the dark and the light. I'm halfway home to you. Every mile marker feels like something new. Got your picture on my dash, heart beating like it might just crash. You're my map, my sign, my view. Every road I take runs straight to you. I was lost, I was passing through. Now I'm halfway home to you. We fought in the kitchen about a week-long trip. You wanted that ocean, I was glued to that gig. I said, baby, I'm trying to make life right. You said, life's right here, can we leave tonight? Slam doors, sharp words we didn't mean. Your eyes got quiet like a winter field scene. I sat on a step, hands in my hair. You came down with a suitcase and a whispered prayer. But you set the bag by the front porch light. Said, I'm still here, so let's get this right. We drew up a list on a napkin, ring number 1 on the page. We choose us each thing. We learned to say sorry before it blew up. Swap pride for peace, poured it back in our cup. We were building a bridge over stubborn ground. Each I love you was another plank down. I'm halfway home to you. Every mile marker feels like something new. Got your picture on my dash, heart beating like it might just crash. You're my map, my sign, my view. Every road I take runs straight to you. I was lost, I was passing through. Now I'm halfway home to you. One day we'll be old on that same front porch. You in your sweater, me with my torch. Still lighting up candles on your late night cake. Still holding you close when your bones might. You were late to the diner on Main. Hair in a knot, coffee stain on your sleeve. You laughed it off, said, guess it's my day. I thought, please, let this girl never leave. You stirred that cup like you had all year. Told me your dreams, how you're scared to be seen. Neon name tag, tiny town fears. I just kept staring, you just kept being. I was half broke, half lost, halfway gone, till you walked in, humming some old country song. Just past sundown, you sat yourself down, turned a lonely booth into sacred ground. Now every sunrise, every small town night feels like a slow dance in your kitchen light. If this is love, then I'm done looking around. Found my forever just past sundown. We drove out past the county line sign. Truck bed blankets, crickets humming soft. You traced your name on my rough, tired hand. Said, promise me you ain't running off. You talked about leaving this town someday. I talked about coming wherever you go. You said, words are cheap, hearts are paid in time. So I've been paying every mile, every road. I was half broke, half lost, halfway gone, till you walked in, humming some old country song. Just past sundown, you sat yourself down, turned a lonely booth into sacred ground. Now every sunrise, every small town night feels like a slow dance in your kitchen light. If this is love, then I'm done looking around. Found my forever just past sundown. Your mama cried on our our wedding day. Tissue stuffed into that worn leather purse. Your daddy shook my hand a little too long, said love her fierce, for better or worse. Your dress was simple, your smile was not. Band in the corner, kids chasing fireflies. We said I do as the sky turned red. I swear I saw heaven in your eyes. I was half broke, half lost, halfway gone, till you walked in, humming some old country song. Just past sundown, you wore that white gown, turned an old barn floor into hallowed ground. Now every sunrise, every small town night feels like a slow dance in your kitchen light. If this is love, then I'm done looking around. Found my forever just past sundown. We fought one night about the bills and the rent. Voices too sharp in that tiny hall. Door slammed hard, pictures shook on the wall. I went outside staring up at it all. You came out quiet in an old football shirt, bare feet cold on the splintered porch rail. You said I'm scared, I ain't giving enough. I said, darling, that thought's gonna fail. 'Cause it's burnt toast mornings, long work days, babies crying, we're both late again. But love's in the dishes, love's in the dust, love's in the choosing each other, my friend. I was half broke, half lost, halfway gone, till you walked in, humming some old country song. Just past sundown, when the world wears me down, you're the living room laugh, you're the soft steady sound. Now every sunrise, every small town night feels like a slow dance in your kitchen light. If this is love, then I'm done looking around. Found my forever just past sundown. One day these boards might creak under Kane. Silver in your hair, stories in our frames. We'll sit on this porch, counting porch light bugs, trading old jokes, trading old shrugs. I'll hold your hand, marked by the years, all of our failures, all of our cheers. You'll say we made it farther than we planned. I'll say I'd start it all over right where we began, at that same old diner on a Tuesday noon. You wipe a table, catch my eye still shy. I steal a sugar packet.
Sun coming up on your old screen door, coffee in your cup, bare feet on my floor. You laugh at my hair, say I sleep too late, but you still kiss my cheek, say we're gonna be great. Your suitcase sat there by that crooked chair. I memorized every thread, every scar, every tear, till the day it was gone. And you back down the drive and the dust from your tires took the light from my eyes. But you came back anyway, pulling slow like a prayer. I forgot how to pray. All my I'm fine fell apart in your name. Every mile you drove washed away my blame. I swore I lost But you turned that wheel and you changed our fate. Baby, I pushed your heart away, and you came back anyway. I remember rain on that diner roof. You stared at your hands, said you wanted the truth. I hid behind pride like a worn-out shield, too scared of the hurt that you made me feel. You circled your finger around your paper cup, said I can't keep falling just to watch you get up. I watched you walk out through that glass and chrome, and I called that night freedom, but it felt like alone. Still you came back anyway, like a song on the wind I once threw away. All my goodbyes, all my burning bridges turned into smoke and second chances. I swore I lost you, swore it was too late, but you turned that wheel and you changed our fate. Baby, I pushed your heart away, and you came back anyway. There were late night bars, there were strangers' names, two loud rooms trying to drown out your flame. I laughed too hard at somebody's joke, but the quiet walk home told the truth that I spoke. I kept your note in my glove box door, folded and worn like a prayer from the wall. Love isn't easy, but it's worth the scars. If you ever get brave, you know where we are. I read those lines at every red light, felt that shame in the dashboard light, till one small town sign in a midnight sky made me finally drop my pride. So you came back anyway, but not 'cause I begged, not 'cause I made you stay. You came back strong, you came back sure. Said I want your heart, but I need it pure. I swore I lost you, swore it was too late, but you stood right there at my front gate. Baby, I pushed your heart away, and you came back anyway. You said I don't need perfect, I just need honest. I don't want promises if you can't keep them. But if you're still in this, if you still want us, take off your armor, let me see you bleed, then heal. So I told you about the nights that I got it wrong, all the times I left when I should have held on. Told you about my father and his slam screen doors, how I learned to run long before I learned more. You didn't flinch, didn't turn your head, just traced every crack in the words I said. You took my hand like you always had, said we can grow good from whatever's been bad. And you stayed here anyway, even when the storm rolled in and the sky turned gray. Through every fight, every bitter word, every slam down phone, every hope deferred, I swore I'd lose, you swore you'd drive away, but you packed your faith for another day. Baby, I pushed your heart away, and you stayed here anyway. There's a porch swing squeak to our everyday, half-finished projects in the yard halfway, burnt toast mornings and lawn chairs at night. We're a little bit crooked, but we're holding on tight. There's a dent in your
laughing at the window, coffee steam on your cheeks, bare feet on that old tile, humming something off-key. Sun sneaking through the curtains, dust dancing in the air. I said, if this ain't heaven, then I don't think heaven's there. 'Cause I could sit on this front porch forever, watch your hair catch that late August sky. Every crack in this concrete is better with your hand in mine, letting the day roll by. If this old house falls down altogether, if the good times pack up and drive, I don't need much, just you and this weather, and a front porch forever by your side. You were mad about the dishes, I was late home from town. You talk with your hands flying, I just tried not to drown in the flood of your blue eyes, in the way your voice shakes when you think that I'm not listening, though I always stay. 'Cause I could sit on this front porch forever, even when thunder splits the sky. We can fight about nothing and then get better, losing find each other in the same old life. If this old house falls down altogether, if the good times pack up and drive, I don't need much, just you and this weather, and a front porch forever by your side. First time that you kissed me, truck door swam too hard, color on the ceiling, from dancing to some song. Oh yeah, you fell asleep on newspapers, rolled up in my shirt. I carried you to our tangled sheets, swearing I'd never let you hurt. And the doctor said the word once, you just nodded, stay brave. You cut your hair in the bathroom, laughed and said less time to shave. I learned to tie bandanas, you learned to trust my lies, when I swore you looked like sunshine with that tired in your eyes. Every storm we walked through shaking, still your fingers laced with mine, turned our fear into a promise. One more day, you're still on time. And we just sat on this front porch together, counting pills and passing time. You'd say, tell me about forever, I'd say, girl, it looks like you tonight. If this old house falls down altogether, if the good times pack up and drive, I don't need much, just you and this weather, and a front porch forever by your side. There's a crack in the step by your rocking chair from the night that you danced in the rain. There's a dent in the rail where you threw your ring when I forgot your birthday again. I'm sorry. There's a heart carved faint in the splitter wood, two initials, 1 July. Every mark on this porch tells the story of every reason why. home. Shoes by the door in piles, homework on the table, braces, tears, crooked smiles. You cried when our boy left for town 3 hours away. I held you on this old swing till the sky turned gray. Now it's quieter at supper time, just the clock and what we say. We move a little slower, let the songs all fade, but you still steal my flannel, claim it when the nights turn cold. You still reason why. There's a crack in the step by your rocking chair from the night that you danced in the rain. There's a dent in the rail where you threw your ring when I forgot your birthday again. I'm sorry. There's a hard card paint in the splintered wood, 2 initials, 1 July. Every mark on this porch tells the story of every reason why. Kids grew like summer corn, shoes by the door in piles, homework on the table, braces, tears, crooked smiles. You cried when our boy left for a town 3 hours away. I held you on this
Met you at a rundown diner, coffee cold, my hands were too. You laughed at how the sugar spilled, said, guess it means I'm staying a few. Sunset in the broken blinds, painted stripes across your face. You were talking about leaving town, I was falling right there in that place. You drew hearts on a napkin, said you did it when you're bored. Tucked it in my flannel pocket like a quiet little word. I walked you to that gravel lot where your mama's pickup sat. You said love just ain't my strong suit, but my heart said I can live with that. If this old world keeps spinning wild, you're the stillness in my storm. Every back road, every mile feels like home when you're in my arms. From the first hello to the last goodbye, from the first wrong turn that turned out right. If love is just a moment passing by, then let me love you for the rest of my life. Small apartment, leaking roof and crooked floor, hand-me-downs and hand-washed dishes, your boots by our squeaky door. We kept changing out the light bulbs, trying to chase the dark away, but the brightest thing in that old place was your bare feet dancing in the frame. We fought about the little things like who forgot to lock the gate. You'd roll your eyes, I'd raise my voice, we'd both throw pride in the wrong place. Then you'd pour us 2 cheap glasses of that wine we never liked. Say, baby, we can lose this battle long as love still wins tonight. If this old world keeps spinning wild, you're the stillness in my storm. Every back road, every mile feels like home when you're in my arms. From the burned out bulb to the busted pipe, from the Daddy never liked me much, said I dreamed more than I planned. You stood there in that churchyard with my ring on your left hand. He shook mine like it hurt his bones, but he pulled me kinda near, whispered, boy, you better hold her when the weight gets too much to bear. We drove off in that same old truck, tin cans dragging on the road. You were humming some worn out tune about forever, faith and hope. The fields rolled by like movie scenes, scarecrows bowing as we passed. You leaned over, kissed my shoulder, said, promise me that this will last. If this whole world keeps spinning wild, you're the stillness in my storm. Every back road, every mile feels like home when you're in my arms. From the cheap bouquet to the crooked cake, from the first night fears to the vows we made. If love is just a moment passing by, then let me love you for the rest of my life. There were nights we almost lost it, bills piled high and hope ran thin. I took work that stole my sleep, you took shifts that stole your grin. But every time I reach for you, half asleep in that old bed, you'd mumble, we're gonna make it. I believe those words you said. We hung pictures of our summers at the lake and at the fair. Your hair tangled by the Ferris wheel, cotton candy everywhere. You kept every little ticket stub in a box beneath our sink. Said one day we'll show our babies where the mama used to drink. Then that blue line on a Monday changed the count of every day. Suddenly the kitchen tiles felt too small to hold our faith. You cried laughing on my shoulder with your hands across your waist. I knelt.
Dust motes dancing in the afternoon light through the kitchen window pane. Caught a glint off that old silver frame on the mantelpiece, just the same as it's been since you went away. A faded photograph crinkled at the edges shows a summer day sun on our young faces. Love so clear like water in the river, now just a memory of silent, lonely shiver. Remember that old Ford rust on the bumper? We drove it down to Miller's Creek. Felt like kings, no need to speak, just the sound of the tires, a steady rhythm squeak, and your hand in mine, so soft and weak. A faded photograph crinkled at the edges shows a summer day sun on our young faces. A love so clear like water in the river, now just a memory, a silent, lonely shiver. Mama always said, boy, don't you rush it. but your laugh, it pulled me in. Like a moth to a flame, a sweet, sweet sin. Never thought our story would ever thin, or that joy would ever truly begin to end. A faded photograph crinkled at the edges shows a summer day sun on our young faces. A love so clear like water in the river, now just a memory, a silent, lonely shiver. You showed up late to your sister's wedding, hair pinned up with a pencil you found, boots in your hand, heels in your purse, laughing too loud, spin around. You said these boots ain't even mine, I just kinda borrowed their shine. I thought, if that's how you treat leather, how you gonna handle a heart like mine? Took my hand like Sunday morning, soft and sure and a little shy. You said I don't dance, but I'll try for you under those cheap string lights. Now every step's a small forever, every song keeps turning into one more try. Guess I was wrong about borrowed boots, 'cause you've been walking with me all this time. Summer rolled in on a rusted Chevy, you pulled up, radio stuck on one song, window stuck too, so you had to shout, get in, this drive won't be long. We got lost twice past Miller's pasture, gravel popping fireflies and flight. You pointed out every house you wanted, I just watched your face in the porch light. You took my doubts like Sunday laundry, hung them out in the open sky. You said let the wind say what it wants to, we just watched those minutes drive. Now every mile's a soft confession, every back road turns into a sign. Guess I was wrong about borrowed time, 'cause you make every second feel like mine. Your mama cried when the dog got older, you held her hand on the kitchen floor. I fixed the screen that kept on sticking, you whispered thank you and nothing more. Later that night in the driveway gravel, you kicked a stone, tried not to tear up. Said I'm scared of losing folks I'm loving. I said darling, we're just filling up. You took my fear like black coffee, poured it out, filled my cup with light. You said we can't keep anything forever, but we can hold on to tonight. Now every ache's a kind of blessing, every crack lets me see you fight. Guess I was wrong about breakable things, you turned my pieces into something right. We've had slam doors, late night phone calls, rain in the bedroom where the roof leaked through. We've had birthdays I almost ruined, saying the wrong thing at the worst time too. But somehow you keep choosing this crooked road with all its signs. You keep showing up in borrowed boots, and somehow they fit just fine. Oh yeah. So take my name like Sunday letters, written slow on a back porch line. You said I ain't perfect, but I'm trying. I said perfect never crossed my mind. Now every scar's a secret language, every laugh's a little proof we survived. Guess I was wrong about stories ending, 'cause ours keeps adding one more line. We got a place with a leaning bell, mailbox. Paint flakes off when the seasons change. You plant flowers in crooked circles. Say I like 'em wild, can't keep 'em tame. There's a dent in the fridge from moving day where we dropped it and almost cried. Now it's our favorite stupid memory of how we learn as we collide. You take my days like Polaroids, baby, shaking color into every frame. You said we're gonna age, might as well enjoy it. Laugh at each wrinkle, each middle name. Now every dish in the sink is a promise. Every mess that we make feels like a sign. Guess I was wrong about picture perfect. I just want your chaos tangled with mine. Storm came through on a Monday evening, lightning walking across the field. Power went out, you found some candles. Said, guess our plans are kinda sealed. We played cards till the deck got tired, told old stories in that waxy glow. You traced our heart on the dusty table, whispered there's something you should know. You took my breath like sudden thunder, held it close and let it go slow. You said if you want me, might as well into it. And I fed each wrinkle, each middle name. Now every dish in the sink is a promise. Every mess that we make feels like a sign. Guess I was wrong about picture perfect. I just want your chaos tangled with mine.
You were standing by the snow cone sign, July sun in your hair, melting time. I was all dust boots and busted pride, truck full of doubts trying hard to hide. You laughed at a stain on my old white tee, said it looks like trouble found a home in you and me. I said, girl, I'm a mess and a half, that's true. You said, good, I need a mess to see me through. Slow dance in a dirt road sky, head on my chest, stars in your eyes. Radio low, world driving by, but it all fades out when you pull me tight. If this is all I ever get from life, your hand in mine on a Tuesday night, I'll thank the Lord till the day I die for a slow, slow dance in a dirt road sky. Came on a cold fall day. You packed a bag, said, boy, I might just walk away. I watched your tail light shake my faith. Sat in that driveway praying you'd hit the brakes. Phone lit up with your name half gone. You said, I'm at our spot, can we talk till dawn? I brought a blanket and a heart laid bare. You brought that stubborn hope, a crooked prayer. Slow dance in a dirt road sky, breath hanging, wide eyes red from crying. We argued soft, then we both went quiet. Then you leaned in close, said, baby, let's try it. If this is all I ever get from life, fighting and forgiven by truck bed light, I'll thank the Lord till the day I die for a slow, slow dance in a dirt road sky. We signed our names on a courthouse line. You wore boots under lace, I wore borrowed time. Your daddy shook my hand just once, said, son, don't you dare let this girl give up. Tiny kitchen with a leaking sink, bills stacking up faster than we could think. But you turned cheap wine into holy ground, bare feet, big grin, spinning me around, slow dance in a dirt road sky. Tile floor cold, but your love runs high, ceiling fan hum like a lullaby. You whisper, baby, we'll be alright. If this is all I ever get from life, your lipstick on my coffee side, I'll thank the Lord till the day I die for a slow, slow dance in a dirt road sky. Years slid by like rain down glass. Some dreams came, some dreams just passed. You wanted kids, I was scared to try. Said, what if I fail? You said, then we'll fly. First sun came in a midnight storm. You squeezed my hand till my faith felt torn. Doc held him up, I forgot my name, till you smiled, said, honey, he's got your way. Slow dance in a dirt road sky, hospital room, fluorescent light. We rocked that boy, sang off-key lines of every old hymn we could find. If this is all I ever get from life, your tired eyes and that baby's cry, I'll thank the Lord till the day I die for a slow, slow dance in a dirt road sky. Baseball games and broken bones, homework spread on the kitchen phone. You in sweats, hair pinned high, still the same girl from that county line. We missed some dates, we burned some toast. We kept on loving when we liked each other least and most. You'd fall asleep with the TV on, I'd mute the world just to hear you yawn. Tell me, how did a fool like me end up where your soft heart sleeps? Through every wrong turn, every lost sign, somehow your hand kept finding. You were late to that small town wedding, hair pinned up but your heart half gone. Said you came for the free champagne, not to watch two kids hang on. I was leaning on the back pew laughing, boots too loud on the old wood floor. You rolled your eyes when I tipped my hat, still you didn't walk out the door. Now there's dust on my boots, gold on your hand, your picture on my dash, your name's in the sand. You were just passing through, I was stuck in this land. Now there's dust on my boots and gold on your hand. Oh, look where we stand. You said love was a burned out porch light, malts and bad choices gathered there. I said love was a diner coffee, stronger when somebody cares. We split fries in that vinyl booth, stayed till they stacked the chairs. You stirred sugar in that midnight cup like you were counting all your prayers. Now there's dust on my boots, gold on your hand, your coat in my truck, your dress in my band. You were set on the road, I was tied to this land. Now there's dust on my boots and gold on your hand. Baby, I never had a plan. Your mama called me trouble in denim, your daddy just stayed in my tires. Said a man who's always chasing the rise leaves a trail of quiet fires. I stood there on your gravel driveway, hands empty, heart too full. Said, sir, I ain't much on talking, but I'll do the long hard pull. You reach for my fingers like you always do when you're scared. Every storm that's ever hit this town felt smaller when you were there. Now there's dust on my boots, gold on your hand, two chairs on the porch, one promise we planned. You were scared to believe, I was scared I'd just stand. Now there's dust on my boots and gold on your hand. Yeah, we both took a stand. We had a fight about the bills the winter. Heat set low and the night set long. You said love don't pay these meters, I said love still writes a song. You threw my old flannel at me, said I'm tired of being strong. I wrapped it around your shaking shoulders, said it's alright to feel wrong. You cried into my faded collar, mumbled, what if this all falls through? I whispered, every time the world feels small, it gets bigger when I hold you. We fell asleep to a ticking furnace, moonlight on the hallway floor. Woke up tangled in the quiet truth, we weren't fighting anymore. There was dust on my boots, gold on your hand, past two notes on the fridge, big dreams in the pan. You were doubting the map, I was drawing our land, but there's dust on my boots and gold on your hand. We keep doing what we can. Spring came up through the cracks in the driveway, dandelions where the snow had been.
You laughed at the weeds like old friends, said look how they still get in. We planted a row of stubborn roses right by that leaning fence. You said if they can bloom in this hard red clay, maybe love can just make sense. Your hair pulled back in a red bandana, hands covered in